Leadership Bloomington-Monroe County has been in existence in its current form since 1984, although it was actually started in 1977 by the JCs. IU, along with the Chamber, took it over in '84, so we're entering our 29th year now. We have more than 800 alumni of the program, so we are really everywhere.
Wow.
It's hard to take a walk in Bloomington without passing by an LBMC alum. The success really has come from the collaborative nature of the program. Like I said, it's offered in collaboration by Indiana University Bloomington and the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce. We draw our experts from all across the community, including faculty members here at the university, local experts, and other folks who have a lot of leadership experience and can come in and help us learn how to be better leaders. To be honest, we make them do that during the program. That's a real fundamental piece of Leadership Bloomington-Monroe County. We bring these people together from all different sectors within the community. They represent a cross-section. They, in a lot of cases, have never met many of the other participants that they're working with. So, it's not a situation where they're participating in an internal training program. They're really participating in an external training program that gives them the opportunity to meet some people they might not ever have met otherwise. And it's pretty amazing what can happen when you work with individuals that are way outside of your normal scope of contacts.
Yeah.
You may not even realize how dramatic of a change that makes for you. I mean, not only in your professional life, but also for you, personally reflecting on what's important to you here in the community. They leave having had a completely different experience than maybe they thought they were going to. They thought they were going to, your usual everyday training session. They're going to learn about this, this, and this. They're going to go back to work, and that's that. Because of the way it's set up, the collaborative nature of it, they're meeting, all of these different leaders who are presenting our sessions. So they're making those connections and identifying potential collaborations not only for the project that they work on while they're in LBMC. So they have to find their collaborative partner for that, as well as other, collaborative folks who can work with them throughout that process. Once they are finished, they have, another 25, 30, 35 contacts who they've worked with through this class. And it helps to identify right away professional collaborations that could take place that maybe had not ever been a possibility before, but now that this individual knows this individual, conversations happen and they realize there's maybe a goal. They could be two completely different types of organizations, but they may have a goal in common, and it opens up the door for collaboration. We also just recently had a group that addressed a really fascinating need. Bloomington is of course known for its natural resources and being a great place to enjoy the outdoors. It was realized that we didn't really have a single resource to identify all of the trails in our community. And this is not just the trails you think of in the Hoosier National Forest, but also the trails like the Beeline Trail, which is a huge investment for our community and is one of our newest parks.
Right.
This group tackled this issue and said, in order to really get people to participate and engage in what we have to offer, which makes for, a better environment to live here or to visit Bloomington, we have to make it easier for them. Let them know what trail is paved, what trail is not paved, what's a strenuous trail, what's not, where are they? So they brought all of the natural resource organizations together and said, we want to make one comprehensive map and system to address this. And they're in the process of making that available to the public. And things like that are really exciting. Here are all these groups who do actually collaborate fairly often and do work together, but they really needed that leadership to say, this is what the community needs, let's help address that. We do a variety of sessions that are on, skills development, but also community knowledge development. In the skills development classes, we cover things like project management, communications, ethics and leadership, which, that's a relatively new session, but it's a really, really critical session, and it makes people think outside of their normal paradigms. And I think that that's one thing that's extremely important, is to be able to step out of what you see as the usual organization or the usual workplace, and think about how everyone else is interacting at work and ways that you might be able to expand that for them. Individuals go through LBMC, they get to have this experience where they are actually outside of their organization, and that helps them to look back in. So they see areas where maybe they haven't been as effective in their communications, or maybe there are some issues that they never considered to be things that could present problems for them that they can then address when they return, having had this sort of outside experience. I think also one of the things that's really key about being a good leader is being able to help others be good leaders, and so they're able to bring the knowledge back that they gain during LBMC and help other people develop their leadership in the organization. Having this experience where you have to kind of let go of everything you thought you knew and be open to new ideas, I mean, that's a great way to build a collaborative culture. We provide sort of experimental environment for that to happen, and to allow those conflicts to arise and then allow the group to figure out how they're going to work through that. And we obviously have discussions about working in groups and how difficult that can be at times, and how varying personalities can bring different positives and negatives into the group environment. And I think that, you know, by giving them an opportunity to work through some of these things in something that's more safe, like this program, and maybe not so much at the workplace, I think that it allows them to see what is it that they react to, at what point does conflict become destructive, and at what point does conflict become constructive. And, you know, ideally working through those conflicts by figuring out where is the common ground. You know, are the goals shared? Is there a way to get through maybe this one issue and set that aside for the sake of the bigger project? It's interesting. It's something that's very, very important from a public relations perspective. And a lot of people may find that amusing because people tend to put public relations into sort of that spin paradigm. Oh, they're always looking to make it into something that sounds good that's really not, therefore being not authentic. Right. However, true public relations in its best light is actually being extremely authentic and extremely honest and there to serve the people. You know, what really is your mission? Is this really solving a community need, or is it just something that sounded like a good idea at the time? And I think that's where you see those authenticity debates come in. When the participants go through their media training, they learn very quickly the importance of authenticity when they're in front of the camera. You know, that's something that cannot be overstated, and really in that communications world, saying really what you mean and saying it in a way that it's going to be helpful and actually serving the people's needs. One is to definitely know your strengths. It kind of goes back to that authenticity. You really have to know what it is that you do well, and you do that. I think also being involved in the community and building that relationship with the community. Like I said, we have participants who come in who meet individuals that they wouldn't have otherwise likely met, or at least had the opportunity to really sit down and get to know them. We give them that opportunity, and through that, collaborations and partnerships form. Being involved in the community is extremely important, and I think that it's beyond just that feel-good, oh, you know, we went out and did this, that makes us better. It's really that process of building those relationships and building those connections across the organizations. Allowing those who are working to develop into leaders. I think that so often we are sort of harnessed to our job titles, and we say, well, I'm supposed to do this, and I'm the leader for this, and or I'm not a leader, I'm, you know, this person who's going to follow these instructions. And I think that when the people who are in that leadership level can help all of the individuals in their organization lead in their own way, it only strengthens that organization.